Have you ever worried about what would happen to your business if something happened to you? Or maybe you want to take a guilt-free vacation or an extended leave, but the idea of delegation or hiring feels so daunting because most of the business activities day to day happen straight from your memory. In today's video, I want to talk about succession planning and why I think it's a peace of mind solution all small business owners need to be implementing today for planning for the unexpected and for strengthening the operational foundations. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Julie, a small business operations consultant. This channel, I share my best strategies for organizing your business backend, for protecting your business with risk management strategies like succession planning, and help you plan for business growth. If you're a small service-based business owner, I recommend you subscribe below because this content is right up your alley. Okay, today we're talking about succession planning, specifically what it is, how we can look at it from the context of a small service-based business or solopreneurship, why it is so important regardless of the size of your business. So you can call yourself a small business owner, you can call yourself an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a consultant, a coach, an agency owner, or a service provider. It doesn't matter. It's all relevant as a risk management strategy. Let's define succession planning. It is the process of identifying strategies for delegation of roles and responsibilities in the business, also allowing the owner to communicate the intentions for the future if their role were to change or they were to depart the business completely. So how does this look in the context of a small service-based business or solopreneurship? So this could be grooming a team member to take over more of your responsibilities, which is delegation strategy. It could be planning for yourself or a team member to take a vacation, whether that's long or short. Or it could be parental leave, or possibly leaving to caregive a loved one. Then there are voluntary exit strategies. Exit strategies being another way to think about succession planning. And that can look like considering to sell your business someday or possibly buy another business. In both cases, that would change what your role would likely look like in the future of that scenario. Also, maybe you're not too far off from considering retirement and wanting to consider handing off the business to a family member or a team member. In all of those scenarios, that's a lot of information gathering and knowledge sharing, which succession planning is a great thought exercise to help you find all the things you need to be pulling together to get that done. And lastly, we can't forget about emergency planning. This comes back to the question at the top of the video of what happens to my business if something happens to me. So that be a serious illness or injury, a need to drop everything and go caregive a loved one, and then also considering the elephant in the room that we don't really want to talk about, but we got to think about it, is death. So thinking about, am I the only one that knows anything about the business? Is there any way to access any of the sensitive information like passwords or knowing what is actually going on in the business that would need to be addressed if I wasn't available? Even if I just needed an email sent to clients letting them know that I'm not available, does anybody even know how to step in and do that? Now, if you're saying to yourself, yeah, but none of this really feels very relevant to me, there's not a whole lot going on in my business. If something happens to me, then the business ends. I got some news for you. Your business doesn't just evaporate when you're not around anymore. Your business is a machine that you pulled together from an idea to what it is today, delivering services to your clients and receiving money. So I guarantee there's at least a few things going on there that, would need to be dismantled in the case of having to close down your business, for instance. That could be licenses, insurance, taxes, all the subscriptions to platforms that run your business, communicating with the team members that you're paying, the clients that are paying you. All of these different things are things that need to be addressed. And does anybody know how to do that? Is that documented anywhere? And do you even have anybody identified that would do that for you? So why is this so important. One, if you're like me or a lot of my clients, you find yourself often busy in the day-to-day activities of the business. So that's supporting your team, that's serving your clients, maybe you're doing marketing, maybe you're doing your own bookkeeping. All of these different things are happening. And you don't really have a lot of time to take a step back, look strategically, take the 30,000 foot view, be able to see the risks, the potential risks coming ahead, much less planning for them. So this succession planning is a very direct and focused exercise that allows you to dial in organizing and planning for very specific scenarios. These scenarios are potentially addressing the most critical risks in your business. Another thing is it's a way to unburden your mind. The mind is designed for thinking, not for remembering. So trying to remember passwords and to remember appointments and to remember how to do XYZ task, it's not really an effective use of your brain space and energy. The type of succession planning I specifically do with my clients, it unburdens them of all that. It documents everything down. And that leads into the third benefit, which is really, it's a true gift to others. Going back to the emergency planning, if somebody has to step in your shoes on a moment's notice, you want them to have the guidance to take action. You don't want to leave them hanging and wondering and having to go through the painstaking activities of contacting every business's customer service and trying to prove to them that they're an authorized representative that can act on the business's behalf. That just sounds like a huge pain in the ass. And depending on the circumstance of why they're taking that action on your behalf, like there could be a lot of other things at play that are overwhelming them. So let's get into the final point of taking action. How do we make this actionable? So there's 3 steps. And step 1, plan and organize. Think about some of the scenarios we talked about in this video. What resonates for you? If anything, I would start with what happens to my business if something happens to me. Thinking about what that would look like, and then organize what needs to come together to ensure that action can be taken to mitigate that risk. And then coming into the next point of access and awareness. Is that documentation and information you're gathering, is that accessible to the person or persons that need to take action? And then awareness. Is that person or persons, are they aware of what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it, and is the information accessible to them? And lastly, accountability. This type of planning is not sexy. It's not top of list for nearly anyone. So there's a strong tendency to kick the can down the road on getting it fully done. I recommend having an accountability partner in place. So whether that's a business bestie, maybe that's a spouse, or even hiring someone like me who does this for a living, who could provide you the guidance and templates and the structure to directly get it done. Well, there you have it, the fundamentals of succession planning for small service-based businesses. If you like this video, go ahead and comment below and share your biggest takeaway. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do so now, and I'll catch you in the next video.